Okay, next up we have Bella Feng from Gilead, becoming multilingual. Bella, take it away.
Can you see me and hear me okay?
I can see and hear you. Do you want to show your screen and we'll check?
Can you see my screen okay now?
See your desktop? Yep.
Okay, let me project my...
Perfect. I see a presentation view.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Today, I will talk about my work, how my work has evolved since my last talk 2 years ago. Back then, I talked about becoming bilingual in SAS and R. And this time, my talk is becoming multilingual. So this talk is not really about any R packages or shiny apps or how I use R for my work. It's about becoming. You see where I'm going, right? At the end of my career, my autobiography will be becoming. Joking aside, the reason I'm obsessed with language is because I have a background in linguistics. When I was in graduate school at USC, at a dinner party or a gathering, people often asked me how many languages I spoke. I had to tell them, I'm not a polyglot. Linguistics is not about how many languages you speak. It's the study of the structure of language. Modern linguistics believes there is an underlying universal grammar among languages. We study this universal grammar through syntax, semantics, phonology, and phonetics. By then, most of the time, I had lost my audience. She or he had to walk away to get a second serving of the free pizza. After I became a statistical programmer, I got into a similar situation. At a dinner party, when people heard that I was a programmer, they often asked, what kind of programming language I use? Is it C, C++, or Java? I had to tell them, no, I'm not that kind of programmer. I'm a SAS programmer. It's a statistical software. Then they thought I was a statistician. I had to explain, in Pharma, we programmers use SAS to implement SAP. We generate SDTM and ADAM data sets, and we create TFLs. Statisticians, on the other hand, they drafted the SAP based on study protocol and CRF. They work with us on the specs and review the TFLs. By then, the friend suddenly needed to go to get a second serving of pizza. This identity issue stayed with me until 2016 when I decided to learn R and become a data scientist. However, little did I know, R as an open source programming language opened so many doors for me to learn new things. Over the past few years, I actually became multilingual. Let me tell you how. Last year, I moved to Kite to build our data science pipeline. We first started with installing the Kite R platform. We had some existing simple shiny apps that can work for data extraction, filtering data, and summary statistics, visualization, and exploratory analysis. But for more complex tasks, such as cross-study comparison and meta-analysis, data inconsistency, cross-studies makes it really challenging. The data from different clinical studies needs to be integrated first. So we set out for this data mart project. The proof of concept is to integrate 10 plus Zuma studies ADAM datasets. Two major challenges are at the variable level and at the value level. This was due to historical reasons and also ADAM standard changes. these two challenges are in parallel and are the same question we need to address. Are variables from different studies with very similar variable labels the same variable? Are prem CD and prem from different studies that look very similar the same parameter? So we have thousands of variables and parameters. Manual review is impossible and not sustainable. We needed to programmatically solve this problem. That's where fuzzy wuzzy and machine learning came to play. We needed to use fuzzy wuzzy package to score the similarities of variables and parameters. The score is between 0 and 100. After initial review, we decided 80 as the cutoff point. Variables with a score below 80 are different variables. Here is a part of the file that we reviewed, the output from fuzzy wuzzy. The highlighted column is the decision from our review. As this is a long-term project and more studies will be coming in from the pipeline, this decision will be used as classified data and be fed into our machine learning process to further reduce the manual review. In the process of working on this project, I actually realized that our studio and the R community have had so many exciting developments over the past few years on connecting the different programming languages. First, it's connecting SAS and R as a non-validated system. Everyone knows here, our platform cannot freely access GXP data in the first place. And we have heard Andy's validation hub work is gaining a lot of momentum. Many companies are adopting the risk-based validation framework. In no time, I can see our platform become validated in many companies. All we need today is for Paul, Elena, and Matilda to endorse R. No pressure, Paul. You can do it during your closing remarks. Another development in the R and plus SAS world is R Markdown. Combining with a package called the SAS Markdown, I got this. Many of the SAS programmers know this data set. For me, it was really great to see these 19 really skinny teenagers again in an R Markdown file. The second connection is between R and Python. As I mentioned earlier, due to the use case, we need to use Python fuzzy wuzzy package. And down the line, we need other machine learning or NLP packages from Python to complete the data science pipeline. Our studio gave us a solution for Python as well. The reticulate package provides tools for interoperability between Python and R. You can call Python from R in different ways, including R Markdown, sourcing Python script, importing Python modules, and even using Python interactively within an R session. Reticulate also provides translation between R and Python objects, for example, between R and Panda data frame. Reticulate also provides flexible binding to different versions of Python, including virtual environments and conda environments. So the other day, when I finally combined the three programming languages and had this on the screen, I was blown away. This is a programmer's heaven. These two lines showing up in the same R Markdown file was as surreal as this year has been. You see, R works as the super glue that connects the programming languages and transcends programming language barriers. I, as a native speaker of SAS, a decent R speaker with some SAS accent, a Python speaker of limited packages, I can code switch and travel between the different programming languages smoothly. R enabled me to be multilingual, to pick the right tool for clinical reporting and innovative analytics. So in the future, if we can have in-person dinner parties, if someone says, oh, you are a data scientist, what languages do you use? R, Python, or SAS? I will just say yes and walk away to grab my second serving of pizza. Thank you. And this is my multilingual team.
Thanks again, Bella. I think we're all ready to take pre-orders for your book, especially. So, yeah.